Hello, and welcome back. Let's see what stupidity is happening in the world today. Unprecedented climate trial kicks off at Human Rights Court. 6 young individuals from wildfire and heat wave affected regions in Portugal have taken legal action against 32 European governments for what they perceive as a violation of their human rights due to inadequate action on climate change. Filed in September 2020, this case is the largest climate-related lawsuit ever brought before the European Court of Human Rights. The plaintiffs, aged 11 to 24, with the support of the Global Legal Action Network, seek a binding decision compelling nations to address climate change more urgently. If successful, national courts could order governments to accelerate carbon emission reduction efforts. The ruling is expected in early 2024, with over 80 lawyers representing the accused nations and 6 lawyers representing the applicants. Well, in my opinion, these 6 lawyers are probably a bunch of climate activists as well, and they needed a poster child for their climate activists. Therefore, they picked children, which basically have not finished school, have not studied, does not have experience, and does not know how the world works. Unfortunately, these 6 lawyers are obviously using these children to meet their own personal agendas. Let's see how this plays out. Unfortunate, but that's the way the world is functioning these days. Now moving on, Evergrande chairman under police watch. The chairman of China's Evergrande Group, Hui Ka-yan, is reported under police surveillance, raising further concerns about the company's future. Evergrande, the world's most indebted developer with over 300 billion in liabilities, faces a liquidity crisis in China's property sector. Hui's surveillance comes after police detained some staff at the Evergrande's wealth management unit. The company's offshore debt restructuring plan is in jeopardy, increasing the likelihood of bankruptcy or reorganization. The investors are worried about the potential fallout on social stability as unfinished apartments pose risk. Evergrande's troubles have impacted Hong Kong-listed mainland developers, while China's property sector continues to face decline. Well, this is not going to end anytime soon, considering there are over billions of unoccupied apartments and residential houses in China, and this is a very sad situation simply because these big CEOs and big China companies have taken advantage of their people with the support of their government, of course, and now the people are paying the price for a blatant housing Ponzi scheme. My prayers to the people in China for how their government is handling this situation. Moving on, Indonesia bans e-commerce transactions on TikTok. Indonesia has imposed a ban on e-commerce transactions through social media platforms to safeguard offline businesses and protect small and medium-sized enterprises from predatory pricing. The ban impacts TikTok's push to establish its e-commerce business in Southeast Asia's largest economy. TikTok, with 125 million active monthly users in Indonesia, recently committed significant investment in the region. The government aims to ensure fair competition and user data protection, while also setting a minimum price of $100 for certain imported items. I don't know what Indonesia's government is up to in this circumstance, but it seems like they are just being wary of the fact that TikTok is gaining a big dominance within their market, and they would like to probably curb the Chinese influence within Indonesia. That's my take on this circumstance. Moving on, poor mental health getting worse in Singapore. The Ministry of Health MOH survey in Singapore reveals a worsening mental health scenario, with 17% experiencing poor mental health in 2022, up from 13.4% in 2020. Young adults aged 18 to 29 are most affected at 25%, while those aged 60 to 74 had the lowest prevalence at 10.5%. Women at 18.6% reported more poor mental health than men. However, 56.6% of respondents are willing to seek help from health professionals, a slight drop from 2021, but an improvement from 2019. Additionally, 80% were open to seeking support from informal networks. This increased willingness reflected reduced stigma and heightened mental health awareness. Singapore is also working on a national strategy to bolster mental health and well-being, emphasizing education and community services. Well, how I look at this is, they're not going to help anything simply because Singapore is technically a dictatorship, but I doubt anyone would admit that. It's unfortunate that the people of Singapore have to suffer such mental health problems. Unfortunately, that is probably how their lifestyle is. Let's hope those who are having mental health problems will get the help they need, because this is an unfortunate circumstance, and let's pray for them. Now, moving on to the last news of the day, Binance fully exits Russia. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance has announced its complete exit from Russia by selling its Russian business to a newly established exchange called ComEx. The financial terms of the deal remain undisclosed. To ensure a seamless transition, the offboarding process for Russian users will take up to a year, with all users' assets being safeguarded. Binance will assist users in migrating the assets to COMEX, with some Russian users immediately redirected to the new exchange. Binance CEO also mentioned that Binance Coin (BNB) holders will still enjoy a 25% trading discount on COMEX. Binance will have no ongoing ties or revenue sharing agreements with the new exchange, marking a full exit from the Russian market. This move comes amid increasing regulatory challenges and sanctions-related issues in Russia, despite it being one of Binance's top markets. In my opinion, this looks like Binance wants to reduce its exposure to being targeted by Western nations. This is due to the fact that Western nations have a great animosity towards Russia right now, and in order to avoid any unfortunate regulatory discrimination, Binance is probably taking this as a strategic business decision. Let's see how it plays out in the long run. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Please like, share and subscribe. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.